The prospect of The Rock betraying John Cena in a shocking heel turn at WrestleMania 41 is an idea that could shake the very foundations of WWE storytelling. While The Rock has largely remained a beloved figure, both as a Hollywood megastar and as one of the most iconic figures in wrestling history, the possibility of him embracing his darker side in a monumental WrestleMania moment is one that could redefine both his legacy and Cena's. If The Rock betrays heel Cena at WrestleMania 41, the WWE landscape shifts dramatically. Cena's heel turn would have already divided fans, but Rock turning against him would add another layer of shock. The reaction would be intense, with some fans siding with Rock no matter what, and others feeling betrayed. The fact that The Rock has been a fan favorite for so long would make this even more controversial. Cena's response would dictate what happens next. If he remains heel, he could spin this as proof that he was right all along, that even legends like The Rock can't be trusted. This would add depth to his character, making him an even bigger antagonist. If WWE wanted to turn him back into a babyface down the line, this betrayal could plant the seeds for a redemption arc. However, that would likely take time. As a full commitment to a heel, Cena would be necessary to make the betrayal feel meaningful. For The Rock, this could be the start of a new character shift. A betrayal at WrestleMania doesn't necessarily mean he's turning full heel, but it opens the door for a more ruthless, win-at-all-costs version of himself. If he aligned with someone else, maybe an up-and-coming star, it could signal a passing of the torch moment, where he helps elevate a new main eventer by joining forces with them against Cena. This could also be a one-time move, where Rock does what he feels is necessary, and then disappears again, leaving Cena to deal with the aftermath. WWE would capitalize on the drama with a rematch, possibly at SummerSlam, or even as a long-term story leading to WrestleMania 42. If The Rock sticks around for another match, they could build this into one final Cena versus Rock encounter, with incredibly high stakes, perhaps even a career-ending stipulation for one of them. Given their history, WWE might frame this as the definitive match between the two icons, ensuring it feels like a true conclusion to their rivalry. Beyond just Cena and Rock, this betrayal could influence the rest of the roster. A younger talent might take advantage of the chaos to establish themselves. Someone like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, or even Roman Reigns could get involved, using the Cena-Rock drama to propel themselves into an even bigger spotlight. WWE would also need to decide whether The Rock's betrayal is a one-off or the start of a full-fledged run. If he's sticking around, he could face other top stars after dealing with Cena. To understand why such a betrayal would be impactful, we must first examine the history between The Rock and John Cena. Their rivalry reached its peak at WrestleMania 28 and 29, where they clashed in back-to-back main events. The first encounter was billed as once in a lifetime, a tagline that ultimately proved misleading, as the rematch was booked for the following year. Cena, who lost in the first match, sought redemption in the second, and emerged victorious, but the two ended the feud on seemingly respectful terms. However, professional wrestling is built on long-term storytelling, and a shocking heel turn from The Rock at WrestleMania 41 could capitalize on that history in an unprecedented way. The motivations behind a potential betrayal could be multifaceted. The Rock has always been portrayed as a man who thrives on the adoration of the crowd, but deep down, his character has also demonstrated a need to be at the top of the food chain. Cena, who transitioned into a part-time role similar to The Rock's own career trajectory, has long been viewed as WWE's golden boy. The Rock, returning to the ring at WrestleMania 41, might feel that he should be the rightful face of the company in this era as well. The idea of jealousy or resentment simmering beneath the surface would add a fascinating layer to his character, making his turn feel organic rather than forced. Imagine the scenario: WrestleMania 41, the grandest stage of them all, where Cena and The Rock find themselves standing side by side in a tag team match. The match is seemingly going in favor of the legendary duo, until, out of nowhere, The Rock delivers a devastating rock bottom to Cena. The crowd would be in absolute shock, as the betrayal unfolds in a slow and cinematic fashion. The People's Champion, now embracing a more sinister persona, stands over Cena with a smirk that hints at a long-burning resentment, finally coming to the surface. What would make this moment even more compelling is the aftermath. A heel Rock would not just be about attacking Cena. It would be about fundamentally shifting the perception of his character. WWE could play into real-life elements, such as The Rock's Hollywood success, his status as an outsider to the full-time roster, and his ability to waltz into WWE at any given moment. A heel Rock could cut promos where he berates the fans for their hypocrisy, reminding them that they turned on him in the past when he left for Hollywood, only to now embrace him again out of nostalgia. He could belittle Cena, accusing him of trying to follow in his footsteps, but never reaching the same level of mainstream success. The dynamic between Cena and The Rock in a post-betrayal feud would be fascinating. Cena, despite his legendary status, would take on a sympathetic role, something that hasn't always been easy for him in the past, given the polarizing reactions he's received throughout his career. A babyface Cena seeking revenge on a Hollywood elite Rock could generate one of the most personal and engaging rivalries in modern WWE history. The Rock, as a heel, could even align himself with a younger, up-and-coming star to further cement his betrayal, possibly mentoring a new generation of talent while dismissing Cena as an outdated relic of the past. This heel turn wouldn't just be about Cena. It could extend to The Rock's larger place in WWE lore. He could reject the very fans who made him a star, claiming that their cheers mean nothing compared to the adulation he receives in Hollywood. He could turn his back on his Samoan wrestling heritage, distancing himself from the bloodline, but doing so in a way that feels self-serving rather than honorable. If Roman Reigns is still positioned as the tribal chief, The Rock could even challenge him from a position of arrogance, claiming that he was the true alpha of their family all along. The long-term implications of such a turn could be game-changing. For years, The Rock has been a beloved babyface in his WWE returns, playing to the crowd and reveling in nostalgia. But by embracing a darker, more egotistical side, he could breathe new life into his character and provide WWE with one of the biggest must-watch feuds in years. It could also set up a match for WrestleMania 42, potentially giving WWE a full year to build up the ultimate clash between Cena and a villainous Rock. A heel Rock could also serve as the perfect opponent for other top babyfaces in WWE. Imagine a feud between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, where The Rock mocks Cody's journey and claims that legacy means nothing in the face of true star power. Or a program against Seth Rollins, where The Rock dismisses Rollins' claims of being the top guy and instead forces him to prove it in the ring. The possibilities are endless, but they all start with that one defining moment at WrestleMania 41, where The Rock betrays Cena in the ultimate act of treachery. Of course, this scenario hinges on whether The Rock is willing to embrace a heel persona at this stage in his career. As one of the most beloved figures in entertainment, there is always a risk that turning heel could alienate casual fans or affect his Hollywood image. However, The Rock has never shied away from reinventing himself when necessary, and if he were to pull off a heel turn effectively, it could be one of the most talked about moments in wrestling history. In the end, professional wrestling thrives on moments that fans never see coming. The Rock betraying John Cena at WrestleMania 41 would be one of those moments. It would shatter expectations, redefine both men's legacies, and create an unmissable feud that could carry WWE into a new era of storytelling. Whether or not it actually happens remains to be seen, but the mere thought of it is enough to send shockwaves through the wrestling world. The long-term booking would depend on WWE's vision for Cena's heel run. If they want it to last, The Rock's betrayal would only fuel Cena's paranoia, making him an even more ruthless and bitter character. If they want Cena to transition back into a hero, the betrayal could be the beginning of that process, showing him that he's lost everything by turning to the dark side. Either way, WrestleMania 41 would go down as one of the most shocking nights in WWE history, and the aftermath would shape the company for months, if not years, to come.